What's up everyone, it's Tony here and welcome to the Yacht Addiction YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. In this video, we're going to be touring a 2024 Benetti Oasis 34-meter super yacht, and this yacht is available for charter exclusively with the FGI Yacht Group. The length is 34 meters or 111 feet and 7 inches. The beam is 7.9 meters or 25 feet and 11 inches, and it has a draft of 6 feet and 7 inches or 2 meters. So right off the bat, it has a fairly shallow draft for a yacht of its size, so you can get into some pretty interesting areas. Additionally, Benetti knocked it out of the park with the design of this one. Guys, keep in mind throughout the tour, this yacht is only 111 feet, but it feels so much larger on the inside. The Oasis series from Benetti is an extremely popular series, and it's very easy to see why. Back here on the aft deck, this is actually called the Oasis deck. And currently the crew are wrapping up preparations at the show, so we're actually going to start the tour with the interior, but then I promise we'll work our way back outside and show you all the incredible areas on the exterior. And this yacht is actually located at the Benetti booth at the Palm Beach International Boat Show, so we actually have to step inside for a moment to get around to the yacht. And as we make our way up onto the yacht, you're going to notice some of the great features of the Oasis deck, and I will point them out specifically later on in the tour when we get to that portion. But you at least get a sneak peek. As you can see, we'll make our way on board via the passerelle, and there's also the staircase built in, so if you want to dip this into the water, you can. And then I will talk about it now on the swim platform. This yacht also features a sea lift, which some of you may know this as a transformer. This is another platform in the center of the swim platform, which can bring you down into the water. You can also use it to bring a jet ski in the water. And there is a shower on the swim platform. And we were going to skip the Oasis deck for now, but it looks like it's clear, so I will just go ahead and get started in this area. One of the first things you'll notice right away is you have the pool on the aft deck. And one thing I love, this yacht is called A+. One thing I love about the Oasis series is they always have the name of the yacht right on the glass of the pool. And this is of course illuminated as well, so it looks absolutely stunning. And then you'll see we have stairs leading up on either side. And you'll see one on this side that's currently up, but then you also have the fold-out balcony on the other side. So you get tons of real estate out here on the Oasis deck. Sometimes these yacht builders pick a name for an area, but it isn't actually fitting. But in this case, I think Oasis is the perfect word for this area. As you'll see, we have seating that wraps around the pool, and the backrests allow you to sit forward or aft facing. And then we also have some convertible tables, so you can see the bench seating on either side. And then here's one example where the table is raised and extended, and then on the other side it's lowered and then folded in half. And another standout feature, when the balconies are all open, we're going to actually look from the aft perspective. But from this deck, when you're out on the water, you get 270-degree unobstructed views. I can imagine when you're out on charter, this would be such a spectacular area to hang out. I really like how this deck brings you nice and close to the water. And as you can see, it's pretty easy to see why they call this the Oasis deck. And then classic Benetti, we have these gorgeous curved glass doors which grant us access into the main salon. And another great feature on the Oasis series from Benetti, you have a seamless transition between the interior and exterior spaces. So you can see right now the door is open just wide enough so we can get in. But I'm going to open these up in just a second for you. But take a look at this main salon. Not only are the exterior spaces incredible, but the interior design is also fantastic. You can see there's a seamless transition over to the formal dining area. And we have floor-to-ceiling windows on either side of the space. Also, I love the decorations on the wall. We have storage below. And then before we move forward, let me show you what this looks like with the doors fully open. I promised You get a seamless transition between the interior and the exterior, so we want to show that off. And also you get spectacular views even while you're sitting in the main salon. So even while you're here, you can peer out back and you get spectacular views out onto the water. And as any charter yacht should, this yacht is equipped with multiple tenders, toys, everything you need to enjoy your time out on the water. Then here's that seamless transition. These areas feel well connected, and I think they executed the vision extremely well. All right, and we are going to continue forward. Here, you'll find the stairs leading up to the bridge deck, and then down to the guest cabins. This yacht sleeps up to 11 guests in 5 different cabins, and it also can house up to 7 crew members. There, of course, is the day head. And then the owner suite is located on the main deck. Through this door, we enter this beautiful area. Check this out. You have very large windows on each side, so you get tons of natural light. And then we have a walk-around ensuite, and there are pocket doors if you want to close this area off. But the toilet is located behind here. And I think we have closets, yep, on each side of the ensuite. But then you'll see as we walk around, you have your double vanity, another beautiful accent wall with built-in storage. And then on the far side, here you'll find the shower. You have the double rainfall head and a large bench. You have another closet on this side. Beautiful execution by Benetti. And then if you didn't think those 2 closets were enough, you do have a separate walk-in closet. So you'll have plenty of storage space in this room. And before we head down to the guest cabins, let's change up the path for a moment. Let's go check out the galley, which is located right through here. You can see a door to the main foyer, but also you can access the galley from the dining room via this door over on this side. There is a side access door so the crew can easily get around. And then we have a prep space. So you have a sink, refrigerator, and ice maker. You can see the entire wall of cold storage. And then as we make our way through, you'll find the rest of the galley. And then the crew cabins are located from this hallway down the staircase. We have another freezer right here. So here we can see one of the cabins with the 2 single beds, storage underneath, plenty of closet space up here, and then if we take a few steps up, you'll find the ensuite. So this is a pretty great size for a crew cabin. Once again, very impressive on a 111-foot yacht. Thank you so much. Then you can see how this leads us back out to the main hallway. And also I didn't point it out because the crew, they were eating breakfast and they work extremely hard. I'm actually here an hour before the show opens, so they had to get up a little bit extra early to prep this yacht so I could film it. So I didn't want to disrupt their meal. But there is an adequate crew mess over on the port side. You're just gonna have to trust me on that one. We have a large landing area and then 4 spacious guest cabins down here. I think we'll start with the mirrored VIPs. We have the very neutral wood on the walls, which I personally do like, but then I also like how they went with some dark finishes in the en-suites. I'll open this up because I know this glass is a bit obscured. And you can see the rainfall shower head, the black accent wall, as well as the stone. So fantastic finishes in here. And then even though the walls are pretty neutral, they still added a pop of color with the bedding. And sometimes that's always the smartest idea, especially if it's going to be primarily a charter yacht, because you do want to appeal to a wide variety of guests. Same design in this ensuite. And then I talked earlier, we have 11 guests on board, and that's because in the smallest cabin, cabin number 5, you actually have 2 Pullman bunks, as well as the additional single. So naturally, this would make a fantastic kids room. And then their ensuite is located just forward of the cabin, right over here. And same finishes as the other cabin. Then last but not least, we have one more cabin over here. You can see your closet over in this section. And then we have additional closet space right over here behind this door. And then the final ensuite. And there's a magnet up in the ceiling. That's the noise you heard. So that will catch the door in place, so you don't accidentally slam it open. Then let's see what's in these hallway closets. I think that was an electrical panel. And then on the other side, just some storage and a small refrigerator. Now, we're gonna head upstairs to the bridge deck. And I think let's start aft. Here, of course, is the Sky Lounge. We have a dining space right here, although it's a slightly smaller table than downstairs. Then if we look over here, you'll see the rest of the Sky Lounge, the large L-shaped seating section, an extremely large TV on board, and we are gonna get some incredible profile shots. Actually, this isn't this specific yacht, but I think this is another 34-meter example. But it's the same exact model. Looks like the paint job is slightly darker. But as you can see, the 34-meter Oasis series has incredible lines. And then we also have the bar area built in. So we have the built-in wine fridge, additional refrigeration, and your sink. And you also have the coffee bar, and then of course, all the liquor. And I actually thought this was pretty cool. We're gonna head out to the bridge deck aft. Normally we wouldn't go out here yet, because then naturally we'd wanna head up to the sun deck. We have another powered glass door. And this door will also open up all the way across. But then check out this beautiful area. I imagine you have most of the alfresco meals out here. You have your beautifully set table, storage in these areas on each side. This area is protected by the overhang, and we have the built-in speakers. And then just after this, we just have some little pockets of seating. And there is a shade overhead. And then the reason I decided to come out here is because you actually, as you see, there's no stairs leading up to the sun deck. We're gonna find that in a separate area. So this is a very private area. I am a fan of these modern yachts where they're integrating the staircase into the sides of the super yacht. And if you're enjoying this Benetti thus far, if you've made it this far, I imagine you are, please leave a like on the video. Also comment down below when you're done watching. Let me know what you think of it. Any type of engagement you leave for the almighty YouTube algorithm, it greatly helps out the channel. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That also is incredibly helpful for me, and I greatly appreciate it. And I promise that's enough of the YouTube plugs for the rest of the video. Let's continue checking out this Benetti Super Yacht. We press this button to close the door behind us. And now, before we head up to the sun deck, we're gonna move forward and see the bridge. We have a day head located right here. And also the captain, they're actually getting ready for the day. They're currently in there. We have the captain's cabin just aft of the day head. And then through this door, we'll find the bridge. And as you can see from this area, you have the vertical windows, and we're positioned very far forward on the yacht, so you have fantastic visibility. And of course, an extremely modern set of controls. You have the 3 multifunction displays. And then we do have a table and a bench just aft of the bridge, as well as a side access door on the port side. And last but not least, there's also a desk on the starboard side. Now, there's another side access door right here. And this is where we can access the stairs up to the sun deck. But before we head up there, you can see we have a wing station, as every super yacht should have. And then one thing I always appreciate when a yacht design utilizes the full amount of space up on the foredeck. So here you can see they did that in a very great way. We have the U-shaped seating, another teak table, the speakers built in, and then a large sun pad with the small backrest, so you can adjust that to your needs. And then the business end in the front with your bollards, and then you can see the winches for the anchors, as well as the bell. And I think they did a great job blending. You still have plenty of space for the crew to work up here, while combining that with adequate amount of guest spaces. Once again, I have not found anything to complain about on this Benetti Super Yacht. The design is simply spectacular. So these stairs will lead down to the side deck and then eventually back to the aft deck where we started. But you'll see here, we have the staircase that leads up to the sun deck. And this is another fantastic space. We will start all the way forward. Many people, even while they're on charter, they want to stay in shape and they like to work out. So we have some gym equipment on board. And this, of course, could be moved out of the way if you wanted to, but it is a shaded area. And then if we look back, we have another place for al fresco dining. And then I love how all throughout the yacht, anytime we have one of the storage areas or catering areas, it's always lined with the beautiful wood on top. And I imagine with these two doors with the vents, we have a refrigerator and most likely an ice maker or a second fridge. Then we'll have storage in the other compartments. And then of course your sink and your built-in barbecue. And then we have some freestanding furniture up here, a very stylish mix of seating options. And once again, this area is shaded if you want it to be. And of course you can't see it now because the shades are up, but if you took these off, you could peer down and get a great view onto the Oasis deck. You have to comment down below and let me know which area you would hang out at the most if you're on this yacht for a charter. I imagine the most popular space is the Oasis deck, maybe tied for the sun deck. I know some people prefer this area, but that Oasis deck is truly special down there. So I'm gonna go, for me personally, I'll say Oasis deck number 1, sun deck number 2. All right, where to next? I think we've seen all of the interior spaces. So now we need to go check out the engines. So let's figure out the easiest access point for that. We have not previewed the engine room thus far. All right, I can't help it. I just love slowly walking out into this area. On all of these super yachts, you'll always have the name embossed on the back of the yacht. Some of them are backlit, some are not, but either way, with the pool set up and then the name on the glass, that's probably my favorite look I've ever seen on a super yacht. It looks absolutely stunning. And then once again, I love the connected spaces. All right, we're getting sidetracked by the beauty of this yacht. Let's go see the engine room. Thank you. All right, guys, it's a very easy staircase down to the engine room. You can see we have so much mechanical space on board. Once again, incredibly impressive on a 111-foot yacht. Here we'll see the tender garage. So this is one of the tenders that you'll get on charter. And this is the Williams tender. I believe this is the backup tender, and you'll also tow a larger tender while you're underway. And there's a door on the far side, and that's how you get this tender out into the water. So I love how that's integrated into this private space. And then if we look forward, or head forward rather, you'll see a massive generator, as well as the engines. And we'll see a ladder over here. I think on the side deck there's a hatch, which will also grant you access to this area. But the door we went through was definitely the easiest way. And we do have a water maker on board. Then of course on a charter, you're never actually going to push this yacht to its full capabilities from a range perspective, but just as an FYI, this yacht comes with a pair of MTU 10V 2000 M86 engines. They produce 1,380 horsepower each. So your top speed is a respectable 16 knots. You can cruise at 10, and you're looking at around 2,700 nautical miles at that cruising speed of 10 knots. And as you can imagine, this engine room is very clean. This is practically a brand new yacht. It was just delivered in 2024. So she's getting ready for her 2025 charter season. If you're interested, of course, I will link the FGI Yacht Group below. We'll give you another shot in this garage. All right, we'll give you one more slow walk through the main salon, or the main deck rather. Thank you, of course, to the FGI Yacht Group for granting us access on board. This is an incredible super yacht. Benetti, they've been around for over 100 years. They know what they're doing. And you can see the quality and class that oozes throughout this vessel. I'm very impressed with the design. This would be such an incredible yacht to be on for a charter. So thank you so much for watching. And also, if you want a little bit of extra bonus footage, I think it's quiet enough still. I'm gonna go out onto the dock and I'll do a slow walk of this profile in person. It's not always easy to capture that at a boat show. So stay tuned for like 5 more seconds if you want to see that. But if not, we'll catch you next time. All right, if you stuck it out this long, I appreciate you. Let's take a look at this yacht from its profile. I don't think I'll ever get enough of the Oasis deck. Let's go as far as we can on the other side of the dock. And I'll just let you take in this massive super yacht. And I'm just going to keep going just because we have the space and it's quiet. I always say this in my videos, but it is incredible how large these yachts look when you actually see the profile in person. And if you saw the Benetti next door to us, I mean, take a look at this. Look how much further out that extends. But that's not the focus of today's video. 111 feet of absolute perfection. Once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for watching. And now, we will truly catch you next time.